AudioMicro.com. AudioMicro.com.
Alright, if any of you watched my Dracula Untold movie review earlier today, then you know what this video is. So, hello everyone, welcome to my very first top 10 video. And this isn't just any regular top 10 that's like on movies, games, or whatever. This is on top 10 things you should watch during the month of October. I mean, it's October, you're supposed to watch something scary. If you're not, then I guess you're just a big chicken. Now, hope you all enjoyed my little intro there. It took me a while to find the right picture and the right music to go with it. But let's get right down to our list. Number 10. Now, this isn't exactly a movie, but this does fit October and Halloween. It really does. This is good for little kids. This is also good for adults if they grew up watching these as a kid, or even if they read the books as a kid. Number 10 is Goosebumps, which were written by R.L. Stein. Now, for Goosebumps, they're not all scary. Some are scary, some are kind of retarded with some of the twist turns here and there, but most of the episodes are really good to watch, and the books are really good to read as well. And R.L. Stein, he did a very good job writing the books and having the episodes on TV. And if you want to watch all of them, they're all on Netflix. There's like a total of 5 seasons on there that you can watch, and they're all good to watch. They're all spooky. I've even watched a couple of them, and I have to admit, they're all not too bad. They don't scare me, but they fit Halloween, and they're good for kids to watch. And like I said, if you grew up with Goosebumps, then you would have fun watching them as well for October and Halloween. Now, number 9 is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It's also my all-time favorite werewolf movie, and it's also based on the book Psycho of a Werewolf by Stephen King. The movie is Silver Bullet. I love Silver Bullet. It is such a great movie. There are some good spooky parts to it, and it is a good movie for October. Plus, if you love Halloween stuff and you love werewolves, this is perfect for the month of October. This is a perfect movie to watch. I mean, the werewolf is very cool looking. The transformation of seeing it is pretty cool. Gary Busey is one of the main actors and main characters in this movie. He does a very good job. And Corey Haim, rest in peace, he does a very good job as this kid that's in a wheelchair, crippled, that has a wheelchair called the Silver Bullet that can just go super fast. Like he gets into pretty much his uncle, which is Gary Busey, makes it into like a motorcycle, and he's able to drive real fast and everything. The effects and the story, I mean, they did a very, very good job on Silver Bullet, and the movie came out back in 1985. So the movie is almost 30 years old, and it still lives up to this day of being a classic werewolf movie. I still enjoy it very much, and will always watch it around October. We'll even watch it around year long. It's a very good horror movie. Number 8. Now, this is a horror, but it's also a comedy. And this one's not too old, but it's a good movie to watch, and it fits right along with October. Movie stars Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, I believe I got that one right, Emma Stone, and her little sister, I forget the name, but the movie is Zombieland. One of my most favorite scenes in the movie. Time to nut up or shut up. Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone, and her little sister are basically, as if we know, might be the only 4 last survivors in what we call our world. Or, it was America, and now it's called Zombieland because a virus struck and there's zombies everywhere. And basically the movie focuses on their hope for survival and trying to find ways to live while there are zombies all around the world trying to kill them. The movie has a lot of action, it is full of good humor, and there's a lot of good scares in it as well. So if you like zombies and if you haven't seen Zombieland, then something's wrong with you. This is a classic horror film, I believe, that is very good to watch for October. Now, number 7 is another comedy slash zombie movie called Shaun of the Dead. Now, Shaun of the Dead isn't all that scary, but it does have a lot of good humor, and it does have a lot of things that can relate to something being scary. Like the zombies, they are freaky looking, and they are pretty cool and interesting creatures. Basically, Shaun of the Dead stars Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. They are best friends. They always look out for each other, stick for each other, and everything. And they just have their normal fun day. And the next day, they find out that the whole entire town that they live in is filled with zombies. They don't know what's going on or this and that. So they just try their best to stay alive and not get bitten by a zombie and get turned in one. And they killing the zombies. I mean, and some of the jokes in this movie are hilarious, and there are some decent scares. But I think it's a good movie to watch during October. I mean, like there's this one scene where both of them are messing with record CDs to decide which ones they want to fall off to the zombies' heads of the records they don't like at all. It's so retarded, but just awesome and hilarious at the same time. Number 6 is a movie that just came out last year. It's one of my favorites, and it's a movie that I think helped out the horror genre a little bit since we haven't had too many good spooky movies out there, but this one was very spooky, and it is called The Conjuring. The Conjuring was a very, very good movie. I love The Conjuring. Everyone does a good job in it, but spooks, oh man, there are so many spooky things in this movie that I could talk about for a long time, but I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it, but it's a very, very good movie, and you should watch it. You should really watch it. It's very good if you like spooky, scary stories. Plus, it's based on true events. And I was looking it up, and actually this type of event actually did happen. This is just an untold story that the investigators never really told about to just recently ago, and basically they got some people to make it into a movie for them. But yeah, it's a very, very good spooky ghost movie. When I first saw it, made me jump a couple of times, and I've watched it a couple of times, and it doesn't scare me anymore like it did the first time I saw it, but it still gives me some chills every time I watch it because it is a good spooky movie. Number 5 is a very old movie that was actually this person's very first movie. The director's very first movie, and the director was Steven Spielberg. Now, you know Steven Spielberg, he's made a lot of good movies, and this was his very first film. This film was so good that it got people not to go to any lakes or anywhere for like a whole, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to a lake, the beach, or a pool, or whatever, just to swim. All because of this great white shark that had the name of Jaws. That's right. Number 5 is Jaws, in my opinion. Jaws is a very good horror film. It is a classic. They did a very good job on the shark. Everyone does a good job in the movie. It is spooky, and some of the lines in this film are great. Like, for example, when the main actors and characters are like all going out to the ocean to take down Jaws and kill him, one of them goes like, "We're gonna need a bigger boat," and it just makes sense because Jaws, he's not your normal average shark. He is a huge shark. I mean, this shark is huge. He is just big. I would not want to mess with this shark at all, and he's scary looking. I mean, this movie even scared me when I first time saw it. I could see why this got people to stay away from the beaches for at least like 3 weeks straight. I mean, just because they were terrorized, they were so terrified of this great white shark being possibly real. It's just so crazy. But it's a very good film. And number 4, we are getting closer and closer to number 1 now. Number 4 is another classic by Steven Spielberg. This one, it's got some scares, got some comedy, but it's a good movie, and it doesn't have to sit in Halloween, but it can be a good movie for Halloween because of the spooks and the little creatures that are in it. And this movie is called Gremlins. Number 4 is Gremlins. I love the little Gremlins. Gremlins is awesome. They did such a good job on the little creatures. I just recently watched the first one on Blu-ray, and I just love it. The picture quality looked so nice in the Blu-ray. The creatures looked so real and awesome looking. Gizmo was always my favorite Gremlin. He looked awesome and incredible. He's also an awesome little Gremlin. You really care for him, and you really love him and cherish him and like him, and you want him to survive when all these other little Gremlins all roaming around because the main character accidentally putting water on him and feeding him after midnight, and the next thing you know, you got all the evil little Gremlins because they were fleecing the words of 1, they hate bright lights, 2, never give them water, and flee, don't feed them after midnight, or else they become little monsters that would just practically kill everyone. Movie's very good though, it's a classic. Number 3. These last ones are going to be some good old slashers. That's all I'm going to say. Number 3, starring Robert Englund and the director Wes Craven, A Nightmare on Elm Street, or as everyone knows as Freddy Krueger. This movie is creepy. I like Freddy Krueger. He is an awesome horror slasher dude. His claws and his voice, the burnt face, the Christmas shirt, he is creepy. A bunch of little kids have these nightmares, and during their nightmares they actually die in their nightmares, and when they die in the nightmare they actually die in life, because that's how Freddy Krueger kills people. He kills people in your dreams. That is freaky. I mean, could you just I'm sure you can imagine that, and if you haven't seen the movie, then you gotta watch this movie. It is freaky. But seriously, dying in your own dreams to actually kill you in life, that is freaky. Wes Craven, you got a great mind for a horror film, and Robert Englund, you are scary, man. You did a good job as Freddy Krueger. Number 2 is my all-time favorite slasher, Friday the 13th, aka Jason Voorhees. Now, the very first one, it doesn't exactly follow Jason. I'm not going to spoil who does. I'll be killing it first if you haven't seen them. But after the first one, you actually get to see Jason in the hockey mask, and he's got a machete that's killing other people. Basically, all these people just come to Camp Crystal Lake to, camp and have fun. And during the nights, one by one is murdered by a certain slasher, and no one knows who it is, and they try to find ways to survive and figure out who it is as well. But it's a great slasher. It's always been one of my favorites, and it's a very good movie to watch during October. Now, number 1. This movie fits perfect in October and fits perfect for Halloween. Not just because it's a horror film, and not just because it's a slasher film. It's because of the title. Now, if you still don't figure that out, then I'm going to slap you upside the head, because seriously, you're just dumb if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Number 1 is John Carpenter's Halloween, with Michael Myers as the slasher that we all love from this film. Basically, Michael Myers was a kid that was bullied, picked on, and everything, and he actually decides to get revenge by becoming a serial killer as a kid, by first killing off his family, but not his sister. His sister survived and everything. And then so many years later on, he's an adult wearing this white pale mask, and he's in this big black shirt with these dark pants and boots, and he just walks around with a knife. You hear this creepy tune every time, going dun 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 dun. I can't really do the Halloween beat, but it is creepy. The movie is very creepy itself. It's a very good horror film to watch. I might even do a review for it on actually Halloween Day. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna do a review for it on Halloween Day. But the movie is very, very good and very spooky. If you have not seen John Carpenter's very first Halloween, I would suggest you watch it now. I'm not gonna spoil anything for it because it's a classic slasher and it's a classic horror that fits October perfectly. That's why it's my number one. Now, I hope all of you have enjoyed this top 10. This is my very first top 10. I'll be having more top 10s around Christmas time for like movies and possibly games or something after Christmas. But it won't be for a good while before I have any more. And if any of you did like this, please hit the like button. And it took me a while to really think of what I put on this top 10 because there's so many Halloween movies and so many awesome things to watch during Halloween or even play during Halloween. Or there's even a bunch of books you can read as well during Halloween to just spook yourself out and have a good time around October. I love October and Halloween. I love both of them. And for the next couple and for years to come, I might do more things like this if you guys really like this. So, if you really enjoyed my top 10 and if you haven't watched any of these things for October, I think you should really watch them. And if you have any ideas of what are good things to watch or you think what I should watch during October that I might have not seen or not, you can put it in the comments down below. I would love to see what your comments are and see what you think of what I should watch or you think is a good horror film to watch during Halloween. You can feel free to do it. I would love to see your comments. I really appreciate you guys for watching all my videos and watching this one as well. So, if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, guys, thank you again. I was really happy for making this top 10 video. But how? I am the almighty Saberwolf Sid, and I will see you all next time.